So I'm willing, to understand that there are definitely people who don't want to think about things critically. You know, there are obviously people who watch a movie like, just turn my fucking brain off and have fun. Fine, that's great. You can do that with video games too. The thing that bothers me are people who are like stringently against putting anything in a game. Where it's like, no, you can't add that in. It's like, excuse me? You don't get to decide that, jackass. That's what's called buying a thing is. You don't get to be mad enough to bully somebody to not make something.
It's one thing to consume passively, and it's another thing to like be militantly agnostic about it. Like, it's advocating for everyone to not put anything in their games that means anything, and never have any agendas, and never have any point to any of the art, but also call it art.
We can finish that level 30 quest here. Meteor sends word.
I hurt myself. Owie.
Yeah, no, and I mean, here, my thing is like, again, it all goes back. Like, there are two factors when making anything that you always have to consider, and it's like, one, is the thing I'm going to make, like, is it to hurt somebody? And if so, then don't make it. That's not good. But two, like, am I expressing myself in it? Like, am I making something that I'm getting, that I'm expressing what I want to express with this thing?
I should also just get my skills.
And people like,
I said 22,
for some reason, don't understand that's where the best games come from. Is like people who follow those two rules, which is easy. You know, you make a thing that you are passionate about, and you.
All the best art means something, generally speaking.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, fuck, dude. Like, think of Downtown
Some of these
Abbey,
people
like,
have their some of these people are like, they don't just have their fingers in their ears, they're like knuckle deep.
Oh yeah, they're basically like fisticuffing their earlobes, and it's
I think it was when that stream I had with you and Colonel RPG or someone, I think, was when I brought up, like, that guy was arguing with me about like the idea of art having a point and so on, and having politics and things, and it's like his example of like all the great art. He's like listed off a bunch of movies about all the great movies that have been made that don't have an agenda, and like literally the first one was Dirty Harry, and I'm like, you should try again. you should try watching that again. Just try. And just give it another go. Just give it a little bit of a go, because it's like impossible to interpret Dirty Harry as not having an agenda or any sort of political message. And it's like literally about cops and the use of force in the text. It's not even subtext. I'm like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah. I mean, the title kind of, I don't want to say gives it away, but kind of gives it away of what the entire point of the movie is, which is, I don't know, maybe that police are not, what's the synonym for clean?
When I see examples
dirty, they might be dirty cops. Like, fuck, dude. Like,
when I see examples that blatant, I get worried, because I definitely start to worry that it's like, that they're using it as a euphemism. Like, they're using politics as a euphemism for like minorities or women or LGBT. Because it's a movie about a white guy that does a shooty bang, so, you know, not political. There's no agenda here. No liberals got this movie because it's a white guy who's used guns. That means it's not political, and they don't think any deeper than to like what's happening in the movie and what it's about and what's fucking point of why anyone made it and so on.
So the joke the truth joke that I always say is that Face Off is my favorite movie because it's an amazing film made by one of the great
Are you saying it's a joke? Is it a joke?
There is some joke to it. My actual, like, the real movie that I actually consider to be my favorite movie is Falling Down. It is the most relatable movie I've ever seen in my entire fucking life. Every time I watch it, I go, yeah, man, I feel it. I feel that in my bones. I get it. I get what you're saying. Like, every interaction he has is this level of just being so fucking done with stupid shit. Like,
it's Joel Schumacher.
Yeah, dude.
What a fucking strange director. I did not expect to be somebody you're dropping here.
The whole movie is just one guy going, why? Like, why?
Like, it's the same. It's the guy who directed Bat Nipples.
Yeah.
And Phantom of the Opera and so on.
Yeah.
That is not what I expected.
but there's good. Like Falling Down sends a message. It is literally a heart and soul piece to saying corporate America sucks. It fucking sucks to live in this world because it's so like uncaring about you in the worst way. Like it's not the scientist method of like the universe doesn't care. Yeah, I get it. I mean in the way that like I mean that society doesn't care about you. It literally finds you to be a problem more often than not. Like you are an inconvenience where it's like you're just traffic on the street. You are literally just a person who buys like consumer products. You are a nothing. It's great. I love it. I love every bit of
I don't know a single thing about Falling Down.
I would recommend it. I would highly recommend Falling Down. There are so many pieces to it that it, especially right now, especially when there's like all the jokes about like okay boomer stuff. This is such a good testament to like why people feel that way. Why people literally have that fucking boomer mindset. It really does explain like this whole I can't properly this is why I'm not an artist. I can't convey shit. This is like it's really good in terms of the message it's trying to deliver, and it does it in a way that isn't condescending. God. What?
I also have a lot of spells to learn.
Yeah.
I have 8 spells to learn. All right.
I got it.
Click.
So I did too. I don't know. It's but
I'm
like
gonna find them all now.
But yeah, it's stupid. It's really stupid to assume that people would make some. It's really stupid to ask people to make stuff to buy. Like, oh, I just want a video game. I don't care about the video game, but you do care about the video game. But I don't care about the video game enough that I want anything particular in it. I just want it to be the video game I want it to be. But not.
I would like gray sludge, please.
But that's the thing is like people want a video game that makes them feel good, but it only feels good because it feels like when they played it some X time ago, or because there is things they don't think about in it, and that doesn't mean that those things don't exist. Like, do you think like every video game has nothing to say? That's ridiculous. I couldn't even fathom. I mean, even Call of Duty has been political the entire run of its life. Like you talked about.
Yeah,
like,
no, they're just lying to their faces. They just lie to people's faces and people fall for it because
the main villains were Russians because that was the thing, because we just hated the Russians.
Well,
and then it
people's
moved on
interpretations are so shallow. Just being told something's not political, if that's what they want to hear, is what they'll latch on to, which happened in both Call of Duty and it happened in Joker. Because the Joker literally says I'm not political in the movie, and people quote him as if he's like a reliable source, or like that's actually what that's the truth in any way.
We're part of society.
He literally says that he isn't political, and then goes on a whole rant about how like this is what happens when you defund mental health institutions. It's like, that's a political statement, you fucking idiot. And like, but the audience that can't think for themselves is like, no, he's not political. You say he's not political, that means he's not political, obviously. It's like the entire movie is about social institutions failing the people that need them, and then somebody acting out violently in response to that. And it's like, there's literally not any non-political interpretations can be made of the Joker unless you just fucking go knuckle deep in your own ears. It's like, it's embarrassing.
I kind of want to do that now. I kind of want to make a movie where it's just so anti something, just something like religion or a political party, just so fucking anti it. But the entire time, every person I interview, they have to start their sentence with, this isn't political, but, and like always, every time, every sentence. So the moment someone goes, this seems me, no. Everybody agrees. Everyone in the fucking movie said it's not political. It's not political, guys. You can't use it as politics. Just for everything. And you make it the most scathing movie or documentary possible about a particular
but it's topic. Not political. It's not political.
But it's not political because it's not political, but
I just want to
Catholic-
kill all.
like
I just want to
Catholic is-
kill all the gamers, but like not
Yeah,
not
just-
politically.
It's not political,
political.
but maybe
Just kill
Gamergate,
every
maybe-
gamer.
maybe Gamergate should be gamer genocide. But it's not political at all. It's apolitical, but gamers should die.
There's actually a really good Jacob Geller video about this, because there's always a good Jacob Geller video about everything. Have you seen that one yet? The one about Modern Warfare?
No. I don't
He
think I have.
did one about Call of Duty Modern Warfare, the new one, because I have to specify, because they
good.
fucking made three or four of them, then just started over back at one. Like 2 years later. Fuck you.
You mean like the new DS, the new Nintendo DS?
Oh god, that was pretty awful too. they learned nothing from the Wii U, and it's like, I'm just going to be confusing about this DS also.
It's okay. We haven't actually gotten a new DS since that new DS.
Oh god. I guess it's still the new DS then.
It's still the new DS technically.
But no, he made a great point about something that I found really interesting, was that in Call of Duty, especially the new ones these days, if you pull the trigger while pointing at your allies, the gun won't fire. You can't shoot your teammates.
Yeah, of course you can't, because
which is
that's
standard.
treason.
Yeah, this isn't the weird part yet. But they have all these hostage situations where in a snap moment, like, you can shoot a baby, and like a woman holding a baby, and like they're non-combatants and all that. And so he made the point of like, I can't shoot Price, but I can shoot this baby. And it's just a great moment of like analyzing the decisions going into these games. Like, the developers chose to specifically disallow you ever shooting any allied combatants in the game.
Well, you can't.
But
Keith,
you can't
shoot our troops.
But you can shoot the baby.
The baby hasn't.
It's
is
like
not earning its keep.
It's the inherent artificiality of the go-to like controversy, because there's a controversy every single Call of Duty game. They specifically create the mission that is that game's no Russian. Like, that's just part of the fucking design doc of how they make games now at that company, is that every single game has some mission that's the equivalent of no Russian, where it's like, this is gonna be the one people talk about. And it's like, so yeah, that leads to them leading to like making a game where mechanically you can shoot the baby, but you can't shoot any of the soldiers.
Where they had the dog, because no one talked about the game. They only talked about the fucking dog.
He was a good dog.
I just remember,
and as expected, he gets wounded, and you have to hold him and carry him around because he's a poor, sad dog. That was a silly ass game. I played the beginning of that at your house, I think, and it was like the steel rods drop. Yeah, the giant earthquake, because like the steel rods fall from orbit, and like this entire California town is like physically coming apart in a series of like cracked rock, like a cartoon earthquake. And it's like, I don't. This is all right. All right, Call of Duty.
Aren't you just some guy in his backyard with a gun, like running around? Were you a soldier? I don't even remember that game. That game was noise, just muck.
Hello, Lankersham. How you doing?
At least, you know what? At least Halo always consistently lets you kill your allies.
Goodbye.
Where are you going?
Stone Talon.
Oh, okay.
Just right back again. Well, I was already at Stone Talon. I just hearthed and then flew here because I needed skills. Because I had level 24.
Yeah, I mean, I don't understand why you can't kill your. You know what's even worse is that you cannot shoot your allies, but in Modern Warfare 4, you can shoot Shepard. You shoot him right in the face. He's standing up there watching you do your training. You can just shoot him, and it will end the game. Which is even worse. Like, so the only soldier you're allowed to shoot is a spoiler. Like, what kind of fucking, like...
Oh, because he was the bad guy, wasn't he, in one of the games?
So, like,
was there a Modern Warfare 4? I can't remember.
Yeah, that's the first one that started this fucking cancer.
Oh, you mean Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare?
Yeah. Well, they call it Modern Warfare 4.
No, it's Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare.
What? Who calls it fucking Call of Duty 4?
Everyone. That's what it was. It was Call of Duty 1, Call of Duty 2, Call of Duty Big Red 1, Call of Duty 3, Call of Duty 4, Modern Warfare.
Oh, you're right.
Call of Duty 5, World at War. It was just a subtitle back then, not the beginning of a series. But then they're like, what if we make a second Modern Warfare? And that's when they stopped numbering the Call of Duties and started numbering the subtitles.
No, that means wait. How many Call of Duties are there? Wait a second. We need to do the math now.
Yeah, because Call of Duty 5 World at War was either actually I don't know if they numbered that one either, or if it was just called World at War. But like that was the 5th one. But it wasn't the 5th one, by the way, because it was actually like the 6th or 7th one.
So Call of Duty 4.
Between Call of Duty 2 and 3, or it was either between 1 and 2 or 2 and 3, there was Call of Duty Big Red 1. 5, 6, so like there's always been so many. There's always been so many games. 15, it's scary. Why they make there's so many games?
So there's 15 Call of Duties.
Jesus.
Sorry. Yeah, there's 15 Call of Duties. So you have Call of Duty 4, Call of Duty 5, Modern Warfare 2, Call of Duty 6, Modern Warfare 3, Call of Duty 7, Modern Warfare. Or no, sorry, that's... Oh, these aren't even in the fucking right order. God damn it.
No, they're not in the right order, because the 5th one was World at War.
So Call of Duty 4,
the Modern Warfare games were every other game.
Call of Duty 5, Black Ops. Call of Duty 6, Modern Warfare 2. Call of Duty 7, Black Ops 2. Black Ops
isn't even 5.
What?
You called it 5, didn't you?
Is it not 5, or is it World at War that was 5?
I keep saying the World at War was 5.
Okay, so
Black Ops is what Treyarch made after World at War.
Gotcha. So then
in the early games, I was still kind of aware of which company was making which. Because Treyarch made World at War, and then they made the Black Ops quadrilogy.
Here's the... Oh, these
because there was 4.
It's okay. Tell me when they released.
And there's 4 Modern Warfares also, but the 4th one's just called Modern Warfare again.
So here's the real list. So you have Call of Duty 5 or 4 Modern Warfare, Call of Duty 5 World at War, Call of Duty 6 Modern Warfare 2, Call of Duty 7 Black Ops, Call of Duty 8 Modern Warfare 3, Call of Duty 9 Black Ops 2, Call of Duty 10 Ghost, Call of Duty 11 Advanced Warfare, Call of Duty 11 Black Ops 3.
I heard that as a dance warfare.
Call of Duty 12 Infinite Warfare, Call of Duty 13 World War 2.
I want a Call of Duty dance battle game.
Call of Duty 14 Black Ops 4. Hey, that's close. Call of Duty 15 Modern Warfare. You didn't even fucking make Call of Duty 14 Modern Warfare. Like, why would you make Call of Duty 14 10 years later be Modern Warfare again?
Well, Call of Duty 4 wasn't Call of Duty 4 anyway.
But Call of Duty 4 was Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare. That's what it says.
Yeah, but it's not. But if you're counting them all like this, then Call of Duty 4 wasn't the 4th one. Because there was Call of Duty Big Red 1.
No,
yeah, it's on the list there. It's on the list there. It's got to be. Call of Duty Big Red 1's a real game.
What the fuck is Call of Duty Big Red 1? I don't see it here. Call of Duty Big Red 1. Where?
Is it such a big list that it's incomplete?
That was Call of Duty 2 Big Red 1.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wasn't that an expansion?
No.
There's a whole separate game?
Yes.
God, fucking damn.
Call of Duty Big Red 1 was a different campaign.
You ever wonder why we invented numbers if no one's gonna fucking use them? God damn, really? How do you fuck this? I asked that to the company that didn't pay taxes because they probably didn't know how to fucking count that high.
That's not. That's a hilarious. That'd be an incredible reason, but no, that's not why they didn't pay taxes.
I mean, they never went past 4. They barely could figure out 3.
They didn't pay taxes because it's possible to cook the books on a macro scale and just pretend you're not a profitable company.
What if you just don't have books?
While also bragging to all of your stockholders that you're like the most profitable company ever, but not being profitable.
Have you ever heard of Thanos?
It's like the same year they're bragging about having the most profitable quarter in the history of their company to their shareholders, while they're firing 700 people while they're not paying taxes.
Company. Theranos. There it is. Theranos.
These are all ethical systems. We shouldn't change anything.
That did that. They claimed that they were going to make it do it.
You don't have to list anybody else. Fucking Activision did it.
What?
Activision Blizzard fired 700 people while bragging it was their most profitable quarter ever while not paying taxes.
Yeah, have you never been a business owner? I mean, that's business, baby. That's business.
That's business,
I don't know what
baby.
business is. No one fucking explains it to me. And I tried taking a class once, and they were just like, "It's business," and I was like, "What the fuck does that mean?" They just kept doing finger guns at me, and I just fucking left. I was like, "Forget it. I'm out of here. I don't understand this fucking class."
They just started doing finger guns.
It's just like, dude, I want to take a intro to business class. I want to figure it out. And they're like, it's business. It's just business. I'm like, what the fuck? What does that mean?
Just business. Just business it. Why aren't you businessing?
Just business. Business. I was like, what is happening? I need to go. I still have the book. And the book just says it's business. And I was like, what the fuck?
I do have like a stack of all the college
books?
textbooks that I didn't rent.
To your useless college books that are only good for one semester because suddenly the entire fucking planet changed over the course of one year.
Well, yeah, that's how it works in the universe, but in reality, they're all good for quite a while.
I mean,
especially
I would
the
hope so. That would be very
ones.
alarming if we had books that expired in a year.
If there's any safe industry or field for keeping your books for a long time, it's geology. It's not just gonna fucking change overnight.
I hope not.
Shit, we woke up, all the rocks switched. They're all new rocks now. Oh god. What do we do? We need all new textbooks.
There'd be a guy who'd just be like, I'm going digging. That's it. I'm out of here. Finally, my calling has come to me. This guy just flips his fucking desk.
I'm going digging. That's the premise of that game we played with CeeLo. That fucking dig down to the bottom game.
Yeah, the Mars one.
That game was really good.
It was like
weirdly good. We played it only for one session and we almost beat it, and then we basically didn't. I don't know if we even really used that.
The final boss was hard as shit.
I don't know if we basically even used any of that footage. But that was neat.
But yeah, that game was
I don't know. I can't think of what it's called. There's a lot of dig down games that kept happening. Like there's the one, like there's Steam World Dig and a bunch of other ones that are kind of similar-ish things, and then of course Super Motherload, yeah. They're all based on
the original Motherload.
All these games are basically just Mr. Driller.
You mean Dig Dug?
Nah. Dig Dug doesn't have those mechanics. Dig Dug's just about fighting a handful of enemies where you happen to make tunnels to get to them. But like Mr. Driller is actually those games. Like all these various games where like you're digging down and different parts of the terrain react differently to you digging through, and some of it falls down on you, and your goal is to get as deep as possible, as fast as possible under a time limit. Like Super Motherload is definitely Mr. Driller. Which I swear is real, even though people stare at me like I'm a weirdo when I talk about that game. It's got this little pink boy, he looks like Bomberman, but like pink, and he drills down fast, and you play head-to-head matches. It's an arcade game.
I mean, I believe you.
It's real. They have it at that. They have it at that exact round table where you almost broke the window by shaking the claw machine.
Oh, at the Pizza Hut?
Yeah. That was such an incredible moment of summarizing you as a person. Like everyone's sitting around eating pizza, and in the background across the entire pizzeria, you put a quarter into a claw machine, you like almost win, but it like fucks you somehow, and you like slam your hand against the side of it, and then you shake the entire machine, almost taking out the window behind it, and like everyone just turns to see that happen perfectly, and it's like, yeah, that's about right. It's like that, if you were being introduced in a movie, that would be the scene they'd introduce you in, just so they can quickly establish your personality over the course of like 30 seconds of non-verbal storytelling.
They're like, got it, okay, I'm caught up now. Like, I like to think that will be.
I'm getting a seed. It's hard to see because I have the grass, high level graphics turned on. So all the grass is overlapping it. I can't see it.
Yeah, apparently that seed didn't get any kind of resizing done after the grass got some.
No,
after someone forgot to mow the lawn.
Might want to turn that setting off while we're here. Turn the grass off. Yeah, I have to find 10 acorns. Did you get all the quests?
Oh look, these are eggs.
Let's see, graphics.
Don't touch me, Spider. I'm breaking your egg.
And turn the graphics down.
Damn it, Spider! What did I just tell you?
Yeah, it's like recommended.
I'm trying to do this quest for.
Whoa, this game looks really different. Whoa.
Where'd all the grass go?
I turned it down to I didn't turn foliage off. I turned the game down to recommended, which is just what the game I think recommended just looks like World of Warcraft did at launch, but with good resolution and frame rate. Whereas if you turn that's when you turn the graphics to 7. If you turn it to 10, they add like all the improvements that have happened over the years.
Oh, like all the grass and shit. Yeah.
Yeah. Which does help.
Why?
But yeah, I think turning it down to 7 will help me see where the hell they're hiding the acorns. I should be tracking these quests. Gonna fuck you up. Weird little slime. Nyah. How you doing, Andrew? Have you been playing even more Halo?
No, actually, it's time for my yearly feel bad about life time.
Aww.
So I go on Netflix and I watch the 3 saddest anime that are on there, and then feel really sad.
And they're all on
Netflix?
Better.
Yeah, Anohana, Your Lie in April, and I forget the third one now. But yeah, basically they're all about like coping with like death, loss, or a combination of the two.
Oh.
Or not loss, love. It's like the idea of losing somebody you love or coping with somebody that you or care about dying, because they're really depressing. But mostly because they approach the situation in a fairly respectful but also easy to empathize style. So there are ways that you can kind of piecemeal, or you can kind of like superimpose yourself into the situation, be like, yeah, I can kind of relate to that situation. I know what that feeling is like. Even if you don't relate to the overarching situation. So like the characters themselves have problems that you can be like, yeah, I know where your head is at, my man. So
it's always really good whenever there's any shows that are able to like foster empathy. Like,
yeah. That's
like even for situations that you don't yourself deal with and stuff like that. Like I've been watching I finished Tuca and Birdie and I started Fleabag, and they both kind of were good at elements of that.
Never heard of Fleabag.
It's different. If you have Amazon Prime, you have it. I don't know if you have Amazon Prime anymore.
I do.
Once upon a time, you had to go New Year's resolution to things cut out of your life, and I was slightly confused it had Amazon Prime because the other things made more sense.
Yeah, well, it was I did live up to that, which is I stopped shopping. Basically, that was the goal of Amazon Prime, is I need to stop fucking buying shit on Amazon every time I open the webpage.
Danger.
But I circumvented that by buying things from my company. So when I have to buy things like a mouse or a keyboard or something, I use that as the way to scratch that itch.
Yeah, Tuca and Birdie and Fleabag are both interesting just because they just are out for the purpose of being specifically a female perspective.
Oh, okay. So Fleabag is also a
like similar to
Tuca and Birdie, where Tuca and Birdie is kind of
like they're both like kind of dark comedies, or like comedies where dark things happen, and and their objective is more about the female perspective than necessarily having a concrete plot.
Okay.
Much like Tuca and Birdie, it was just kind of like episode to episode things were kind of happening, and characters were developing. Yeah. I've only watched the first episode so far, but it seems really interesting, and I actually laughed a lot. It's a 6-episode miniseries. It's British.
Okay, that makes sense.
And it caught my attention, in part because there's a video essay channel I was watching that made a really good video on Russian Doll, which I loved.
Okay.
And then they had a big video about Fleabag, and I'm like, well, I gotta watch Fleabag first. And so that's the only reason I knew it existed, because no one seems to know that show exists necessarily.
I mean, that says something about a creator too.
Yeah. Have you watched Russian Doll?
I would have to, let's see, Russian doll, maybe.
It's got Natasha
No,
from Orange
definitely
is the
have
New
not.
Black, the redhead, the most fun character on the show, basically.
I've also not. I've seen like one. I think I've only seen one episode of that show.
Because it's a Groundhog's Day. I don't know if you like those kinds of stories.
Oh,
She keeps dying and
gotcha.
starting the day over and over again, and it's so well made.
It's okay.
It's a
'cause
great
it's really
time.
tough. I feel like I've seen so many of those that now I kind of am almost like a fucking savant when it comes to like, oh, I know what the best way to handle this kind of medium is, because anime does it all the fucking time. Anime really loves the concept of like Groundhog Day.
I'm mostly used to it in the concept of Star Trek episodes.
Yeah.
There's a Next Generation episode and a Star Trek Discovery episode where the ship keeps blowing up every hour, basically. Or like the ship keeps blowing up in like a 10-minute loop or something, and only one character is aware of it. And so like they're trying to figure out how to stop it.
I don't like episodes like that.
Oh, you're about to die. Stop that.
I'm fine.
I think my heal got stronger again. Which also means it got more fucking expensive.
Yeah. Did he just put you to sleep?
Yeah. I got sleeped by a basilisk. Probably just looked at me. It's a basilisk.
Oh, it is a basilisk. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
They do stuff like that. But no, like, yeah, Russian Doll is one of the better shows I've seen in a long time. It's really neat. I had a great time. And that's, it was co-developed by Natasha.
They're making a second season of that?
I think her name's like Natasha Lyonne or something like that. She's like one of the best actors in Orange is the New Black. And it was co-created with the blonde lady from Parks and Rec. Those two produced it and created it. Amy Poehler?
Yeah, I think it's Amy Poehler.
That was a good time.
Yeah.
There's been some good shows lately.
I mean, we do
It's
have
been a
more
neat time.
God damn it, Twitter. I just a new trending has appeared. Can you guess what it is?
Oh. I don't want to. I never want to. It's never good.
Today, Keith, today is a momentous day. Today
No.
is hashtag JJ Abrams is over party.
Oh.
So,
Is it because he finished a thing?
I mean, technically, probably, yeah.
Or did he do something bad?
We'll find out.
Because one of the running jokes has been for a while now that like J.J. Abrams never finishes anything, so him having to finish Star Wars is like, huh, that's interesting, like thing from like muscle for him to have to flex all of a sudden, because he just makes it. All he does is make wacky mysteries. What's in the box, and then he walks away, and somebody else has to deal with it.
Oh shit.
J.J. Abrams isn't even good at making sequels to his own things, as shown in the terrible Star Trek sequel.
Oh no, people are spoiling the movie.
Oh.
Oh no, someone figured it out.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. Well, it's not even that. The movie's out. Or not out yet. It's out like in a day or two, but a lot of people have already seen it because it has a lot of scrings.
Oh no,
yeah,
people are just ruining it for other people. This is fantastic.
That's what people do.
This is just like the
you have
Harry
your
Potter
acorns
thing
yet?
all over again.
Do you have your acorns yet?
No, I have zero acorns.
Well, you're gonna have to take the charge. You're gonna have to take the control then and stop following me, because I already found them all.
Okay.
Like I need to follow you now.
I can see them on my map where they are. So.
Yeah. Because you're on follow on me, and I'm like, I'm done. you need to go get them now.
I mean, competing against them's not gonna.
I would keep going around the island, the lake, the way we're going. Honestly, if you retrace our steps, you're gonna go all the ones that I just picked up.
Yeah, you're right.
Danger, danger.
Take that. Oh, I need to give myself this. Give myself that.
I don't. Thankfully, I don't get spoiled by that stuff because I don't even look at. I sort of don't look at. I don't look at trending.
I ain't.
Here's one. I don't pay any attention to what's trending on YouTube or why people are angry. Can you see this one? Can you see it?
Oh, sorry, I was looking at something else. I was running over to Depmase. Oh, come on, man, get out of here. What do you want?
At this point, there's no out besides. There's no other outcome. Like no matter what, people are gonna be mad when a new Star Wars happens.
people just get mad all the time. Doesn't matter if a new Star Wars is out. Doesn't matter if
that is true. People are just mad all the time in general, and this is like the most popular form of media in the world. So inherently, there's going to be opinions.
So there's the most mad. You have to be the biggest mad because if you're not the biggest mad, you're not the biggest
achieved.
Fan. Only true fans are upset.
Yep. And we live in a world where you can monetize your opinions, which means which only intensifies them.
Hate seems to be a very, very lucrative commodity.
Leads to suffering.
That quote makes zero sense.
Hate leads to trending.
That quote makes zero sense because it's said by somebody who fucking caused it.
Yeah.
like what
Hate
does that
leads
mean?
to trending. Trending leads to followers. Followers leads to monetization.
Oh no, monetization.
Yep.
Unless you make content for kids, then that's a big boo-boo.
No one hates Star Wars more than Star Wars fans.
That's not true.
I will say, if people are that mad about the characterization,
I think George Lucas hates you guys more than you can ever hate his own product.
I will say that if people are that mad about the characterization of Luke Skywalker in The Last Jedi, then they should be mad at Force Awakens for making him a weird hermit that left everyone behind. Because like
because that's what Yoda did, you jackass. That was perfect.
But I'm just saying, like, that was the plot of The Force Awakens, is that all this bad stuff's happening and Luke has abandoned everyone and is a hermit on some planet.
Luke didn't abandon everyone,
that was already,
dude. He went to go find
that was already
himself.
The plot before Last Jedi.
Haven't you ever
Last
watched...
Jedi just had to deal with the reality of the situation and analyze what that would mean for his character.
Haven't you ever watched
And they did a great job.
Traveling Pants? It's the same thing.
Which is why it's the best Star Wars. Somebody feels like a very like angry tickle on their ear whenever I say that. Whenever I say that Last Jedi is the best Star Wars.
Last Jedi.
It goes really well. It goes really well.
That upsets me because that's definitely not true.
I think it's true. I'm not being.
I'm
not being ironic or whatever. The what? Oh, well, I haven't seen Mandalorian yet, so maybe it'll blow my mind. Actually,
no, it won't. It's kind of lame. I really fucking hate that they keep making it. It's basically just what's it called? It's if someone combined Cowboy Bebop and The Last of Us, which is great. I love it.
I like to watch shows when they're done.
That makes sense.
Like, I mean, not done, but like season done. It's like I have so many shows that are already ready for me to watch that I'm not in a hurry to watch it while it's happening necessarily. You know, Rick and Morty 4 is happening already?
Yeah, I'm watching it.
I fucking lost track of that. So I'm watching all these other shows, and I'm like watching Tuca and Birdie and Disenchanted and all that, and it's like, oh, by the way, Rick and Morty season 4 is happening, and Mr. Robot's final season already happened, and by the way, you're like 1.5 seasons behind the Better Call Saul. Get fucked. I'm like, goddamn television, calm down.
I think Rick and Morty is only 5 episodes this season because I think they're. What the hell did I?
Is that why it came out so quickly? Because they used to take like years.
No, it's taken 2 years for this season to come out.
Oh, did it?
Now
have we really dealt with Pickle Rick for this long?
Yeah.
Oh god.
Yeah.
Somebody save us. Somebody save us from this Pickle Rick, this madness.
Rick and Morty season 3 came out in no, that's a lie.
I hated what I hated about that was that in the episode
2017.
I read that as Dan Harmon mocking his own audience, because if he just enthusiastically if Rick just enthusiastically shouts something like 5 times an episode, it will instantly be a meme that the audience will drive into its death. So like Pickle Rick was created in the specific context of Rick is wrong, he's the bad guy, he's doing this to avoid responsibilities, everything about this is something that you should do. You should completely look at him in shame because he's completely in the wrong this entire episode, and this is a massive waste of time, and he creates all of his problems. And also this is the most forced thing of like, we already had Tiny Rick, but now we got Pickle Rick, so it's even derivative of previous meme. And despite that, everyone just kept shouting Pickle Rick for years and making Pickle Rick merch and Pickle Rick parody games, and I'm like, I hate this audience. No, I hate this entire fan base is the worst.
Didn't the author of Rick and Morty die? First of all, there's no author, there's creator. It's not a book
No.
first. Secondly, no, Justin Roiland
I
is
see one
alive
over
and
here.
kicking.
Yeah, Justin
He
Roiland's
still has
fine.
alcoholism, but he is alive and kicking.
Yeah,
Dan
I
Harmon.
think I would have heard of if Dan Harmon or Justin Roiland died, especially since I listened to Dan Harmon's podcast.
That would be a good indicator.
Yeah.
I mean, when Dan Harmon is no
we
longer
can go
on
for
his
the
own
hat
podcast,
trick.
maybe he's dead.
I can have my third ever time where the podcast I'm listening to, the host dies. I'd rather not.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh no, you talking about Giant Bomb?
Giant Bomb and co-optional.
Oh right, I forgot co-optional.
It's a fucking reoccurring thing of like having a podcast host I listen to just die, and I'm like, podcasting isn't even old yet. How is this happening already? All these people are like 30. God damn it.
Back in my day, host a podcast didn't die. Like
it's well, back in my day, podcast didn't exist is the thing. It's like it's such a new medium that it's like I'm not ready for all the creators to be dying all the time.
But yeah, nope.
I've covered indie games where a few years later the developer's dead, and I'm like, I don't like these thoughts. These people are like 28. Stop.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah.
That's really sad.
Yep.
Yeah. So, anyways, yeah. So there's only 5 episodes this season, and they're gonna split it so that way they can do 5 episodes now, and then they wait like a couple months, and then 5 more episodes come out. Then they wait a couple months, and then 5 more episodes come out. They're doing the Game of Thrones style ish. Or not Game of Thrones style. Where is it? Yeah, because they just gotta
No, they're like in chat. They're like, "Oh, geez, I guess that means Polish news was inaccurate again."
So yeah. So
funnily enough, the reason I have to fucking
contains
wait
10
around all
episodes.
day tomorrow is because my package is from Poland. It said something about like international agreements or whatever, or some shit like that, is why I'm not allowed to just have them leave the package. I have to sign for it because it's a package from Poland.
Why are you getting a package from Poland?
Because that's just where the company was. I didn't know either. Until I got the DHL notification, and it's like, this is coming from Poland, and I'm like, it's what?
Shouldn't you have put that like in the store page?
On some level, I'm like, I'm impressed. It's gonna be here from Poland in 2 days. Okay, that's impressive. I didn't.
Wait,
I'm
constantly shipping from Poland.
I'm constantly marveled by how fast things get around.
I guess maybe they have like a frequent flyer mileage.
Its trip is 2 days. It took like 3 weeks for them to ship it. But the trip itself is this Christmas season has been a reminder for me of what it's like to order things from not Amazon and the learning experience that is. Because I learned one. I ordered one thing. Well, 3 things, including your gift actually, from Poland.
Oh no!
And then I ordered. Yeah, and then I made an order from DFTBA, and then I also had an order for other place. Yeah. So I have 3 different orders that are all from not Amazon, and all of them for different reasons took like a month to ship. And it's like, Jesus Christ, when is this getting here? Or specifically, the one from Poland took like 3 weeks to ship, but it is instantly arriving. But there's another company I ordered from where there's one thing for Bird and one thing from Stephanie. And the one for Stephanie was, they shipped it a week after I ordered it. And it's arriving. It still hasn't arrived. It's been in the mail for like 2 weeks. It's been in various forms of being stuck at various different positions, and I can see on the tracker where it is, and I'm like, what the fuck is happening? The one for Bird, despite being ordered the next day, has still not been shipped for all these weeks, so I literally don't know when that's gonna happen. The one for DFTBA, wow. I made the mistake of like, it was apparently I have no idea how well they shipped it, because it was apparently a pre-order and I didn't know that. So when I ordered it like 2 months ago, but it's only recently shipping now. So I'm like, oh shit! Like I actually emailed them because I felt like a jackass afterwards. I emailed them being like, hey, is this ever coming? Like, did you forget? Like, is like, did you guys lose track of this message or something? And and they're like, sir, this is a pre-order, and I'm like, ah, shit. I'm so sorry.
Oh no, I'm the bad guy because I didn't read.
I didn't realize that it was a shirt. I didn't realize the shirt had a release date. I didn't think in those terms.
Shirt.
Yeah,
I love it.
Whereas rather worryingly, the thing from Poland had the message of like, we're trying our best to get you everybody their things before Christmas. We promise. Ha 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 ha. And I'm like, this is a discouraging message to read, like a week and a half after the original order. But once they did finally ship it another week later, we're in that in between of like it's gonna come from Poland apparently, which came as a surprise. What are you doing? You're just standing here.
Sorry, I was looking at something, waiting for these eggs to come back because they have not spawned back, and I still need to get.
Do you have an egg quest?
Yeah, I have an egg quest.
Like to hatch the eggs? Oh wait, I think I did that last time we were here.
Yeah.
Like in the other spider place full of spiders.
No, it really upsets me.
Do you have all of your acorns?
Yeah, I have all the acorns. I'm good off acorns. I'm good on them corns.
It's an experience. You get really used to like ordering stuff on Amazon and being like, and it's there 2 days later because they're like a mega company that rules the world and literally created their own infrastructure for delivering packages. Like that was one of the freakier moments, was the realization of like, oh, they're no longer using third parties to ship their packages. They just do it. They just like the drivers work at Amazon too. And I'm like, oh my god, everyone works at Amazon.
That I found out, I was reading shit on Reddit at work, and I found out that you can actually bargain with FedEx and UPS, like as a company, because they are that reliant, like they are that desperate for business. Because like Amazon is basically destroying them by making their own fleet. And so it's like, we'll ship anything, whatever. Yeah, we'll give you some good rates on shipping a lot of stuff. Because most people be like, I'll just put it on Amazon, and then I just throw Amazon a bunch of stock, and then they'll ship it for me.
What?
So yeah, so like Amazon or so UPS and FedEx are like, we'll take any, we're good. Just come over to us, please.
Are you planning on visiting the area around Christmas?
I'll be in.
Because I have like I have like some of your family nearby, don't I?
Wait, sorry. Where you are currently?
Yeah.
Yes. I don't know when about I'll head over there. I gotta double check. Yeah. I know they want to do some kind of like.
It just makes it easier to hand off the package to you.
Yeah,
I was like, oh wait, he might actually just come to me.
Yeah,
I was thinking about what I was gonna do.
Where is?
I saw something and I'm like, well, I gotta get that for Andrew. There's no choice.
Do we have Amazon drones? We can't have Amazon drones. It's fucking.
We live in shitty parts of the world that aren't cool enough for next level like cyberpunk modernization.
We couldn't even had a freaking robot like hitchhike across America. You think we'd have drones? No, they'll get shot down and the package is stolen.
We used to live in a town that had Amazon Fresh until they gave up. They gave up on having Amazon Fresh.
To be fair, they gave up and then bought Whole Foods immediately, which we did have in town. So they won that battle. Like I get really mad because Amazon keeps reminding me. It's like, hey, why don't you do Amazon Fresh again? I'm like, you son of a bitch. Like how dare you?
I trusted you once and you betrayed me.
Do you have the gall to talk to me like that? I do it now at the Rayleigh's Bel Air. I do online ordering and then I just go pick it up on my way home from work. Because it's nice if you pay like, well, I mean, because I just buy $150 in groceries, which is a normal amount to spend for a month. It's free. Like the pickup is free. You don't have to pay a convenience fee.
Would you like to buy normal amount of groceries?
Yeah, basically. But it's great because
how much groceries do you get? Oh, you know, the normal amount.
Yeah, normal amount. Computer, stop. Don't sass me.
The metric unit of normal.
Thankfully, because Amazon bought Whole Foods, it kind of scared every other retailer. So every other grocery retailer is upset that now Whole Foods has this like armada of fucking trucks to ship their groceries with. And so other places are starting to be like, okay, we need to figure out how to fucking get the internet to work. How does the internet work? Someone turn the fucking Wi-Fi router on?
That is kind of Amazon shtick, is to kind of like cheat at capitalism. and then it wins.
Yeah, I mean, but yeah, Amazon is basically doing as scummy
like from
as
day
they
one,
are,
they were like, how do I be a bookstore that doesn't have to turn a profit at the books and then win anyway? And they kind of did, and now all bookstores are fucked because their competition is Amazon that doesn't have to actually turn a profit at the thing it's doing. It just has to get market share.
Yeah, basically and that's what scares most. That's why Amazon is a terrifying company for almost every other business, is that it shows up, it just exists, and it causes
Loot it,
destruction.
Andrew.
Oh no, I have to loot it. Okay, but yeah, I mean, like Amazon is a threat to everything. Like online retail has like kind of stagnated because Amazon showed up. I don't know, probably me.
Huh. Oh,
yeah, that's another. Yeah,
somebody's notifying me that they're getting notifications for every video I upload except the Disco Elysium ones. Huh.
That's amazing. That's a skill.
Weird.
Yeah.
YouTube's anti-Disco Elysium. You heard it here first, folks.
Yeah, the person.
Do you have your eggs yet?
I do. Let's go. Let's get out of here. Screw this place. Yeah, someone said their dad is addicted to ordering stuff on Amazon. I feel that, man. I feel that. I know what that feels like. It's really good. You just go click, click, and then stuff comes to your house in 2 days. It's amazing. I don't know why. Yeah, I don't know why it's so gratifying to buy stuff on Amazon.